Welcome, my friends of the interwebs. Hey, listen, this is going to be all about the 686 trigger out of the box and whatnot, so hang tight. First, I want to say how this whole thing started for me, and it was ran into a video by Gun Wild 1, and he was talking about his prettiest gun. He was showing everybody his prettiest gun. He showed a couple of guns, but anyway, he got to the 686. He's a big fan of stainless, as am I. But he got to the 686, and that, to him, was his prettiest gun. I concur. The 686 is an amazing gun. It's a beautiful gun. There is something very special about a revolver. If you've never shot a high-quality revolver, I seriously recommend you do. I know there are guys out there who understand what I'm saying. Ebomi's one of those guys. But anyway, Gunwild 1, and I got to talking about the trigger on the 686. And by the way, if you're not subscribed to Gunwild 1, there'll be a link underneath. Go ahead and give him a sub. He's a cool dude. He's been around a long time. So, anyway, we got to talking about the trigger, and I recommended that he spend the money to get a trigger job. Now, listen, these revolvers, this particular revolver, the 686, the Smith & Wesson, really all of the big revolvers, are not cheap. They use a lot of steel, and they are just not cheap to manufacture. And so it kind of sucks that you spend as much money as they cost, only to have to spend a little bit more on a trigger job. But here's the thing. If you have a revolver, a 686, I'm just going to speak on the 686. I'm not going to speak on any other revolver. But if you have the 686 and you're disappointed with how hard the pull is, then do yourself a favor. Take your gun to a qualified gunsmith, hand it to him and say, listen, lighten this trigger for me. Just give me a basic trigger job. And now, I don't know, I guess it's going to be one of those things you'll have to negotiate with him, but the trigger job that's on this gun was $100. Just $100. It's not a fancy trigger job. There's no roller bearings or any other stuff in there that you'll see on some of the high-end comp trigger jobs. But, you know, it's just, to me, it's the trigger that makes the gun. And I got to be honest with you, when you, by the way, empty, when you shoot a revolver and you feel that trigger staging back, you can hear it. See? You get it right there on that edge. Boom. Out of the box, this thing is just a bitch. It's just a really tough pull. This is butter smooth. It's not light as hell, but it's butter smooth. I wouldn't classify this as a hair trigger at all. You know, I mean, you can, you know, it took a little bit to get that thing to go off. Yeah. So I mean, it's not a hair trigger, but it is definitely worth the $100, and it is it's light years ahead of the box trigger. Now, before anybody goes crazy about me dry firing this gun can be dry fired perfectly fine to dry fire this gun. In fact, when you get a new 686, it doesn't hurt it to kind of wear it in a little bit. But this gun, I will never shoot this gun apart. I mean, this gun will last me. I don't have any kids, but if I did, my grandkids would be shooting this gun. This is just an amazing, amazing gun. And I think Gunwild 1. In fact, I know his is a 4-inch trigger. I have shot the 686 with a 4-inch trigger and do like it. But I used to shoot competition, and this is what I used to use as my comp gun. And it really was. At the time when I first started shooting this competition, it was a gun that a lot of law enforcement still carried, the 686. In fact, the pistol competitions that I used to enter were PPC matches, were practical pistol... whatever, I can't remember what it was called now, but it was mostly law enforcement. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you think. If you've got a 686, what do you think of the trigger? Smith & Wesson, by the way, if you're listening to this, if you run across this video, I know a lot of manufacturers do run across our videos, do a better job with the trigger. I mean, I don't know if you consider it a safety thing to have it such a hard pull, but the truth of the matter is that the people that are buying these revolvers are literally spending even more money to get the trigger done. It wouldn't cost you anything, in my opinion, to lighten those triggers up a bit out of the box. I mean, even a 10-pound pull would be nice. I don't know what these are pound-wise out of the box, but they're pretty stiff. You know, they are pretty stiff. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Gunwild 1, go check him out. And yeah, let me know if you're a revolver guy, because I just think revolvers are beautiful. And the thing of it is, too, something to always remember about a revolver. Yeah, you only get, by the way, they do make these in 7 shots. This is a 6-shot revolver, but they do come in 7-shot. So a lot of you guys that say, well, you know, there's not enough capacity. Well, there's as much capacity in this gun as a 7-shot gun as you'll find in the 1911. Well, not necessarily true. I actually get one in the pipe. But having said all that, the beautiful thing about these guns is that if you run out of bullets and you're in close proximity, you can club them to death with it. You can pistol whip them. Old school. Anyway, everybody take care. See ya!